All right, let me see here. Jesus Christ. Hmm. All right, hopefully people can see me on this thing. Let me see here. I got to get to the right place. Unbelievable. All right, so this is the one I want to delete. All right. See if we got this figured out. Oy, God, man. Good deal. Well, it's fixed because I'm on my phone now. I don't know what the deal is, um, honestly. I still need a few seconds. Good, Richard. What's happening? Um, yeah, this is not a. I'm having a lot of problems with my internet, and I don't know what the hell the deal is. You know, if I can't figure it out in a minute or two, then usually I'm not going to be able to figure it out. It's that simple. It's something going on with YouTube or whatever. Because right now I'm on AIS, and so yeah, let's just get rid of that. Well, my internet sucks right now. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is with it. Probably, but give me a second. At least we're online, and it seems to be working fairly well. I just need to get set up over here. For some reason, the encoder and YouTube hasn't been working well online. Okay, so all right, looks like we're good to go here now. All right, good. Well, good morning, everybody. Uh, yeah, now I'm using AIS, And what really, I don't really understand everything yet because when I was using the the hotspot, that's AIS also. So it must be something to do with the way that the laptop communicates with YouTube or something like that. I don't know. I got no idea. And at this point, it doesn't really matter. We're online. Things should be good. Uh, I don't know if there's an audio sync issue, but we're just going to proceed for the moment. Anyway, sorry about this, but what am I going to do? So today is Tuesday. I almost said it was Sunday, but it's Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. Current temperature's 84 degrees, which sounds pretty good, but it's a high of 99 today. 84 is the low. Feels like 99 already. 0% chance of rain. 78% humidity. 0 wind. 6 miles visibility. UV index is 2. Air quality index is 41, which is good. And the Thai baht is a little bit weaker. The last stream it was 32.5124. This stream is 32.5515. So today we're still gonna talk a little bit about what's going on, but we're gonna talk about the new YouTube top 10 expat destinations. Maybe we'll get into some crime rates and accidents and how they've declined. The Chinese way, which I didn't even think of this until last night when I was watching some stuff on YouTube. But yeah, that's another thing we'll go over. And if we can, we'll get into this 90-day fiance thing. I was on Facebook and I saw it. I know about this show, but I don't watch it. They don't have it out here in Thailand, at least where on what I'm watching. And I saw a few things of it, and I just wanted to make a few comments about it. But anyway, the following stream and all videos, that is when everything works on this channel, are brought to you by my Patreon patrons, website members, and all your contributions. Today's shout out goes to the one and only Longhorns. Don't know where he is. He's probably lurking. Who knows? Thank you, and thank you everyone for watching and supporting the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, just head on over to anamericaninbangkok.com/Scott or take a look in the description. All right, we get through that stuff. But Yahoo came out, I guess it was 2 days ago, with their new top 10 best countries for expats to live in. And to be quite honest, and I think everybody else is probably feels the same way, I'm really sick and tired of hearing about the Chinese and the coronavirus and everything that's going on and the lockdown and the president and the White House. I'm sick of it. Really, I am. I've had enough. All right? And so I wanted to get into something a little bit different. So here we are. Top 10 best countries for expats to live in. And guess what? Thailand is not in this list. Which to me sounds, you might think, oh, wow, Thailand's not in it. No, Thailand's not in it. And there's probably a few good reasons why. One thing that I've said in the past is that just giving the perception that foreigners are not wanted, whether it's true or not, is enough to drive people away. Just giving the perception that when people have the perception that it's very difficult to stay here, or it's much more difficult, or it's not that cheap anymore, and they believe that, whether it's true or not. They're not going to come back. There are other countries to go to. So the number 10 spot, and I'm a little surprised at this, to be completely honest. Um, and while I like the place, I don't know, especially with the changes that are going on right now, I don't know that it really belongs in the top 10. And that number 10 spot goes to Vietnam, which, I love Vietnam. I think it's a great place. And I thought about, what would it be like to live there before when I went? And I could do it, but I don't know that it would be a place where I'd want to live there. Now, to go there for a month or two, or to stay the summer and know you're going to leave and you're not there for years, okay, I can see that. But I can't really see being there year after year after year, unless maybe you started several years ago, like 30, enticed by the colorful culture and convinced to stay by friendly locals. Vietnam is a great choice for experienced expats. Yeah, that's another thing. Experienced, yes. If you're inexperienced, I would not recommend going there on your first trip. The country broke into the top 10 this year thanks to its strong financial security and positive work-life balance. Listen, I think if guys are going to Vietnam to live, they're not worried about the work-life balance. I think the majority of them are not thinking about, hey, how can I have a wonderful work-life balance? I don't think that. But on Yahoo, they're trying to cater to a different type of person, maybe different than is in this chat. Plus, it's welcoming environment for newcomers. They are welcoming. They're nice people. Most expats surveyed said they were able to quickly adjust to the way of life there, feeling at home within the first few months of arriving. We are sure the country's striking natural beauty. What the hell's going on? Helps a little bit too. Okay, that's it. Okay, all right. So, I don't necessarily agree that belongs in the top 10. And once we're done with the list, I'll go over some other places. And I've done this before, but, these times are changing. And I think social distancing is important. And I think you need to do it without really thinking about it, which means if you're going to live in New York, you better be prepared to, I don't know how they're going to do it once this is all over with, but I think the best way is you live somewhere where there's not as many people. You live out on the farm, something like that. You live isolated. I think that's the best way. Not that I think it really matters at this point, because I think we're at the point now where people are, especially in the United States, are pissed off enough where they're like, you know what, let's take our chances. At least in most of the places. Not New York and some of the other hot spots, but Alaska. Well, I've given Alaska a lot of thought. I've been to Alaska several times, and I've been there for a month each time, month or two. Although some of it was spent out at sea. But, the thing about Alaska is it's a little bit expensive, okay? And it's expensive getting there and getting around. So if you don't live in Anchorage, you live somewhere else, it's going to cost you, and especially if you got a family of 4 or a family of 3 or whatever it might be, family of 10, it's going to be costly to get around. And the program where Alaska gives everybody money for its oil and all that kind of stuff, it's not all that much money. It's not enough to justify living there. I think it's not more than about 2,500 bucks per person. So that's only about 200 bucks a month. Uh, but it is a good place to, it is a nice place. If you got money, I mean, you got some serious bread and you can afford to have what you need there, which is you're going to need, if you're going to live out in the outback there, you're going to need guns, you're going to need several vehicles, you're going to need snowmobile probably. And what my wife always goes, I don't know if we can grow anything there. Right now she's growing tomatoes and basil out in our front yard. And so she's like, we got to go somewhere where we can grow stuff. So, Alaska, Anyway, that's the United States. Now, next on the list is United Arab Emirates. Only about 11% of the people living in the oil-rich United Arab Emirates are actually Emirati nationals. The vast majority of people who call Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or one of the other 5 Emirates home are from elsewhere. We're guessing the influx of expats has a lot to do with job opportunities and wage increases. Young professionals under the age of 35 in the UAE receive a 50% increase in income on average. The country also earns high marks for its fast rate of promotions within any given job field, and it ranks first for the amount of disposable income. More money to go towards exploring Africa and Eastern Europe, we say. Again, maybe they're catering to a different type of person than I am and than some of the people in the chat are. And it may be a good place to live and to work and everything like that. I personally don't, I've been there before a couple of times. I don't want to live there. It's just not my cup of tea. Which is why I live in Thailand, because Thailand is my cup of tea. So, listen, it's not for everybody. Where's my pen? But I can't see it, especially if you're a young professional or whatever. Maybe. Expensive and hot, yes. But you will earn more. But what? Listen, it's like if you earn $1,000 a month and you get to keep 950 of it, that's pretty good. The amount you get to keep, because it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. But if you make $10,000 a month and you're spending 9,900, well then what would you rather have? I guess it depends on your standard of living, but anyway, it's on their list. I don't agree with it. It's another one I don't agree with. Wow. Now this one, I've never been here to this country. It's number 8 on the list. I've never been there. So I can't really say yay or nay, but I don't know that I would choose this. I don't know who's making this list up. Do they have a name on here? Oh, it was in Con Nash Traveler. All right. Survey respondents had an overwhelmingly positive experience with expat life in Germany, especially when it comes to economic indicators like the prospects of career advancement and a drastic improvement in work-life balance. But stereotypes aside, it's not all about efficiency and productivity. The country's rich culture, natural beauty, and comprehensive social security are very appealing to expats, especially if you're looking for a welcoming environment to raise a family while you develop your career. Again, I disagree. I'm sorry. How did this make the top 10? Okay, salary increase, but this is for expats, not for retirees. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, it's just not about the best place to retire, but the best place to live and earn. Well, in that case, then, what is the United States not a good place? Is Ireland not a good place? There's a lot of places not on this list. Um, and this is not this is Yahoo. Yeah, this is Yahoo. The I don't know, international version of Yahoo. So, well, the next country on the list is Turkey. Turkey is one of the world's best countries for expats looking to expand their lives both professionally and culturally, according to the rankings. The company's strong showing this year, it didn't make the top 10 last year, has a lot to do with how easy it is to move there. It currently ranks first for both ease of settling in and welcoming communities. On the financial side of things, Turkey also scores points for both income and career progression, while children can benefit from good schooling and local families open to making new friends. Now, a guy I talk about once in a while, Steve from Steve's Kitchen, he is in Turkey right now, locked down. He loves it there. He did not like India, but he does like Turkey. Now, I don't know that that means he wants to be there and move there. I don't think so. But I have heard some very, very good things about Turkey. Aside from the religious aspect of the country, I wouldn't want to live there. I wouldn't want to live in any of these places. I just, maybe Vietnam, maybe Turkey, maybe for a short period of time. But to live there, say I'd live there long term, Well, it is Yahoo, so take it with a grain of salt. Let's see here. Oh, this is a better way on Con here. Turkey. Number 6, Australia. Yes, moving somewhere new can make you healthier. At least that's what survey respondents in Australia suggest. More than half of those who have taken up residence down under report that their health is better, against a global average of just about 35%. About three-quarters of respondents said the natural environment and easy access to it is better than what's available at home, which logically translates to more time spent outdoors. Lap in the rock pools, anyone? Now, I know some people who have moved to, I know an American guy who moved to Australia, and I know a British guy who moved to Australia, and obviously they like it very much, or they wouldn't be living there. That said, I haven't been there, my mother has been there. Apparently, and Andy, maybe you can concur or tell me otherwise, but Australia, very expensive. That's exactly what I was going to say. And a nanny state, and also much of Australia is now owned by the Chinese. They've got lots of problems with that, and I wouldn't want to live there. Now, I've been wanting to go there, but it's just because they're an English-speaking country, I always feel like, well, I can go there anytime I want, and it'll be easy. But I would like to go there. It's just not on the top places to live for me, and or to even travel. But I would live there, I guess. I mean, I would probably listen. In the right circumstance, you'll live anywhere. You can make enough money, you're probably not going to turn it down. I know that, but there are great beaches in Thailand. There are great beaches in Florida. There are great beaches in Greece. There's great beaches all over the place. You know. Oh wow, koalas. Well, I don't really care about the koalas. Great whites, very cool. I like that. I don't want to get eaten though. But number 5, New Zealand. Well, there you go. New Zealand takes 5th place this year, a slight drop from its 2nd place position last year. Expats feel the benefits of the country's laid-back lifestyle with more free time after work to experience the adventure capital of the world. Huge variety of activities. With more free time after work to experience the adventure of the capital of the world's huge variety of activities. All this leads to most new citizens experiencing a better quality of life and better mental well-being than in their home country. In all the surveys measurements, New Zealand comes out on near top for work balance and political stability. Add to that a high level of safety and friendliness among the citizens, and this is one of the countries that expats may never want to leave. Okay, so New Zealand, yes, New Zealand, I've heard great things about it. From everybody I've ever talked to who's been to New Zealand or spent time in New Zealand, they all love it there. So, well, let me see something. Give me a second here. So that's we got Vietnam, United Arab Emirates, Germany, Turkey, Australia, New Zealand, and let's see here. Let me see what this is. All right, so moving on. Number 4, Spain. Wow, Spain. When making the decision to move overseas, there's more to consider than career prospects, especially if you're resettling with the kids in tow. Not only are there emotional and psychological ramifications to bringing up your kids in a new culture, but also the dizzying logistics of navigating a new school or child care system. Yeah, to be completely honest, that my kids are older now, but I can only imagine what a huge pain it would be to get them started in a new school. Well, unless you're moving to Spain. When it comes to families, there are a few places better than Spain. The country ranks 2nd overall for little expats, which takes into account learning, schooling, and making new friends. And with the country's incredible climate, leisurely work environments, hello siestas, and high mental and physical wellness among citizens, expats will definitely see an improved quality of life if they choose to make Spain their new home. Well, they won't right now if they're there, but I've heard some good things about Spain, but I've also heard some bad things as well. Mainly that their work ethic is not the greatest, and you have to get accustomed to it, and I'm not going to get into that. I have a close friend who lived there for a few years, and he basically thought they were a bunch of puffs. If you know what that means. They were soft, basically. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Let's see here. Spain scores number 1 for hot women. I don't know, because I haven't been there. There's a lot of places in Europe I haven't been to. I've been to France. And, yeah, Hein, I don't particularly like this list. But number 3, are we on number 3? Yes, we are. Number 3, Canada. Yeah, this has got to be. I mean, I don't really agree with. I don't really agree with many of these. Canada is the only North American entry into the top 10. The U.S. sits way down at number 23. Number 23, you got 50 states, and you can't find one good place that ranks in the top 10. I find that uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Disgusting. Canada ranked first for overall quality of living, a category which includes political stability, ease of settling in, mental well-being, and general fulfillment. Of the 33 countries ranked in HSBC's study, Canada is ranked the most tolerant and welcoming to people of different races, genders, sexual orientations, and faiths. Actually, I don't want that. I don't want everybody welcome. I mean, I'll just say it right there. We're too welcoming in the United States. And I don't think I'm unfriendly. I'm not always friendly. And we haven't even mentioned the natural beauty of the country, and it really is beautiful. Now, I will say that I've been to several places in Canada, and yes, it is very beautiful. I went to a place called Kitimat. Hang on. Yeah, see, this list is for people who, like they actually love to work. They think work is their life. This is not a place for people who they're working to live. They're living to work. It's kind of like the Japanese mentality, the American mentality. Hey, if you want to make it, you're gonna have to work your ass off. Well, instead of working smart, don't work hard, work smart. Canada, number one, if you're from a third world shit country. Jim, I thought it would have been North Korea. I would like to visit Canada in the summertime. USA, have you seen what they're releasing from college these days? A bunch of blue and pink haired woke chicks. Damn. No, I haven't. I mean, because I don't go looking for college chicks. And I haven't been home in a couple of years now. But I do know that there's got to be some places in the United States that rank better than these places. Sorry. And this is definitely leaning one direction. Now, maybe it's because it's Con Nast. And one thing to be certain about, this is not for people who are looking to go be, what do you call, the hell they call them? Nomads, digital nomads. It's not for those kind of people. It's not for people who are looking for an early retirement. These places are not really for that kind of person. This is for somebody who they're looking for a different place to live, a different way to live, and so they're gonna move wherever they need to move. Watching from Los Alamos National Laboratory. Oh, really? I used to live in Alamogordo, Alamagugu. Been to Albuquerque many times. White Sands Missile Range. Let me proceed. I'm very discouraged with this list. Number 2, Singapore. Wow. The city-state of Singapore has always been one of the best countries for expats to live and work. It ranked first for 4 years in a row and now comes in second place. Education can be a major concern when relocating with kids, but not in Singapore, which earns high marks when it comes to quality of schools. The parents enjoy the move too. Singapore ranks first for both job security and wage growth. So it's got all those numbers going for it. But what about the Katong Laksa, chili crab, and char kway teow? Let's be real, the actual reason expats love Singapore so much lies within the culinary paradise of its hawker centers. Now, I've spent a lot of time in Singapore. I mean, if, a lot is all relative. I'll say I spent my fair share of time in Singapore, and I don't want to live there. And I know a couple of people who live there, Singaporean and British. The British guy flat out told me, uh, it's a great, it's a great place to make money. You know, it's a great place if you want to make money, you want to work, and that's all you want to do. But when it comes to relaxing, having a good time, chilling out, Singapore is not the place that he wanted to be. He moved back to the UK. He didn't want to live there anymore, and they were offering him more money and everything. He just said, "No, I don't want to live here anymore." Oh, come on, baby. Let's see here. 1 second. I'm on my 4th year in Singapore after 5 years in Thailand. I'm thinking of moving back. Well, like I said, I've heard this from numerous people. And I've spent some time in Singapore. And I will tell you one thing. There was a Singaporean guy. Hang on a second here. Let's see here. My phone will continue to charge. All right, so I know a guy. He's Singaporean. I know several Singaporeans. And, when you live there, it's your home. And you kind of just take everything as it comes, and you deal with it, and you live there. Most people are not thinking, oh, I've got to leave here. I've got to go and see the world. I mean, a lot of people don't do that. They live in their own little bubble, and that's it. And what I will say is I got increasingly tired of hearing all the Singaporeans in the bars. We would go out to clubs, not necessarily clubs, but little pubs and places like that. We'd go out after a day. At the end of the day, we'd go out to have something to eat, maybe have a beer or something. And everybody around us was talking about work. That's all they did was talk about work, 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 work. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Is there anything else in your life? I don't know who the hell Jim Rogers is. I haven't got a clue who you're talking about. But anyway, I do like that it's efficient. But everything is about the money. Everything is about, getting ahead in your company. The British guy was like, man, I can't stand this. It's like everything I do has to be about work. And he was like, I got a family, and I didn't have enough time with my family. So he left. He split. He had a pretty good job, too. Now, the Singaporean guy, I grew to dislike him for a number of reasons. But one of the reasons that I grew to dislike him was because he always made it to where he had so much stuff to do that he'd be in his car racing around town trying to get to this appointment and that appointment and getting this done and getting that done. And his wife would tell him what to do, and he would just kowtow to her. And I just was like, man, I can't deal with this shit. That's not the kind of world I want to live in. And so I don't know how they came up with Singapore. I mean, okay, business-wise, yes, I understand it. But how about Malaysia instead of Singapore? All right, number 1. Now this place I can see as a good place to live. And I would say that if you got money, then it's a fantastic place. And number 1 is Switzerland. So, with impeccably clean streets, some of the world's best ski slopes, just a train ride away, and all that cheese. Well, I do like cheese. It's except I like the green, the cheddar. It's no surprise that Switzerland made the top spot this year. It's not just because everything works so well, though there is that only 1% of surveyed expats said they were concerned about the economy. Switzerland is home to two of the most expensive cities in the world, but paychecks reflect the cost of living. The average annual salary for expats in Switzerland is, are you ready for this? $203,000, almost twice the average for the expats participating in HSBC's study. Money speaks when it comes to Switzerland's place on the table, but there are other things going for it too, like education. Just over half of respondents with families said their kids were being treated to better schools than the ones back home. And you know, I can see if you have money, it's a good place to live. I mean, I think Tina Turner, she became a citizen of Switzerland, and I think she married some. God damn it! I'm having problems charging my phone. Problems. Switzerland, that's a joke. They are missing Eastern European countries on the list. I like dysfunctional shithole places, but like living in a nice bubble within them. LOL. I like Malaysia. David Bowie was a Swiss citizen. Well, there's a reason for it. Because it is a very nice place. I mean, you know. But out of these, let's go over them again real quick. Vietnam. All right. You know, if you want a dysfunctional shithole, I wouldn't call it that are shitholes compared to like Switzerland. But it's a nice place and the people are nice. Costa Rica, not on the list. And that's one of the places. Let's see here. They have assisted suicide in Switzerland. That would probably be the only reason I'd ever go. I don't need any assistance with that if I want to go. But so, you know, this list is missing quite a few places. But I think they're in their view, the making of money is extremely important, and the career is important for these places. So, in places like Australia, I don't know what the pay is in Australia, but say New Zealand, Australia, Switzerland, of course, Singapore, and UAE and Germany. I think the pay is quite good, and so that's why they're on the list. They're not on the list because they're the most comfortable, most laid back places that you can live. Now, 4 places that I have on my list. What was that other place? Costa Rica, Ecuador, Portugal, Croatia, and Romania. Some people like Albania too. So, but you know, when it comes to going there and working, and working for a company, and that sort of thing, I don't know, but these places are a place to go. Costa Rica, these are more of a lifestyle places than places that you go to do business and work. They have assisted suicide in Pattaya. Bar girl pushes you from your balcony. I think that we're starting to get close to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I sure hope so. Because while I don't have a problem staying inside, it's always nice to know you can go outside and you don't have to think about it and you don't have to wear a mask. Now, yesterday I went out and went to the grocery store in the mall to get a few things. And in the grocery, everybody's wearing masks. There's no problem. Everybody wears their mask. You're not going to get in if you're not wearing a mask. And if you're somebody who's working with food and you're not wearing a mask, you probably lose your job. But when you go outside, when I was going into the mall and walking over across the street to the Song Tao, there must have been 20 people that I just walked by. They didn't have any mask on, nothing. And there was a lot of other people who had their masks half on, or they were, they're eating and sitting there next to a bunch of people. And I'm like going, okay, listen, I kind of think at this point, the chance is pretty slim that you're going to catch something. I think it's a difficult thing at this point in Thailand for you to catch this virus. It's getting more difficult. I think you still need to be safe, though, because I think that is somewhat misleading. Their numbers are misleading, and also the way that people are acting now, they're much more lackadaisical than, say, a week or two ago, because the numbers are down here. But that said, let's get back to what I was talking about. Turner and Bowie became Swiss citizens because status. You can move to Switzerland, work there all your life, retire, but when you die, you cannot be buried there. Body sent to the country of origin. I'd rather live within my means and in a poorer, happier country than somewhere I need to be concerned about Western societal norms. Well, I'm not worried about Western societal norms. Georgia is ending their lockdown this week. Crazy. I might go to Ecuador. Uses the U.S. dollar closer than Cambodia. Direct flights from my city and has fare sales. I'm going in the morning right when they open. Going where? The lines for food is really sad. People are struggling. Yes, I've heard that. And that is something that is definitely of concern. Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Japan would be on my list if I moved overseas. That's just because you like Asia, Andy. I mean, really. If I was to move to Japan, I wouldn't move there until I spoke decent Japanese, to be honest. I would make sure I spoke Japanese. Malaysia, I don't want to live there. Unless maybe I lived out in the middle of nowhere somewhere or by some beach and there weren't many people. Vietnam, I already said, I would live there, but I don't know. I don't think that I'd be 100% comfortable there. Not like, the thing is here is that I've been here for so long that I'm very comfortable here. I'm as comfortable here as I was in the United States, for the most part. I was going to check out Cambodia. I had to cancel my trip. There's a lot of negatives about Cambodia that people don't talk about, like the medical care. And while it is slightly better than in the past, there's a reason why Thailand is a place that a lot of people come to. I think the nicest place to live on earth is Isan in China. Sorry, I disagree. I've lived in Isan in a couple of places. Is it nice? Yeah, it's nice. Is it the nicest? No, not even. I wouldn't live in Phuket either. Even if I had money, I wouldn't live in Phuket. I've already lived there, and I know what it's become. I know what it's like there, and I don't want to live there. So, the older that I've gotten, the more I've realized what I like and what I don't like. And I don't want to go live in Phuket. And I can tell you that the one positive about where I live here, and I don't particularly like being in Bangkok. I'd rather be elsewhere, but it's not possible right now. The one positive is that I'm not treated like I'm a tourist. Most people around here, when I go to places, especially if I say a few words of Thai, they don't look at me like I'm this guy Oh, you can speak Thai. Oh, wow. Oh, 500 baht for you. Good deal. Special price. Well, really, normally it's only 100 baht. So why is it 500? I don't get any of that stuff. So anyway. I am Cambodia, and though I never lived there, I can tell you the healthcare is shit. Yes, it is. It is shit. But I believe that Bangkok Hospital, I think that's the one. They've got a hospital there now. Did Phuket become a tourist trap? Where have you been? Really? Phuket's been a tourist trap for 20 years. 25. I love Bali, although I would not live down in the heart of Bali. I would live somewhere like up in the hills somewhere or something, or somewhere near a beach that is not a tourist destination. So that's the list of top 10. Like I said, for me, they left out Portugal, they left out Croatia, they left out Romania, they left out Ecuador, Costa Rica, and all those places are quite good. Turkey is a nice place. I don't know for work how good Turkey is. For working there and building your career there, I don't know how good it is. These are very specialized positions. I think when you go somewhere like that and you're going to work there as, say, an American, or you're going to have some issues. If you're European, I think it'll be a little bit easier. Same with Germany. New Zealand, I've heard a lot of good things about. Spain, there are some good things about it, but I've also heard quite a few negatives. So anyway, we'll have to do a top 10 retirement destinations, but I can tell you that Vietnam is probably on it. Thailand's probably on it. Ecuador is probably on it. Costa Rica is probably on it. Portugal is probably on it. Canada might be on it. I don't see Singapore or Switzerland being on it, or maybe New Zealand, but I don't know. Spain, no. Turkey, no. Germany, no. UAE, no. So I don't know that they have. Australia is quite expensive from what I've been told, what I've heard. Let me see something here. All right, we're checking this out. Oh, here we go. Well, now this is, let's see here. I see this. They haven't done one, it looks like, in about 4 years. But they do have the best places in the United States to retire. Let me see here. I hate Pinterest. I just don't like Pinterest at all. I don't like the way they're set up. And I won't log in. I don't like anything you have to log into. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to tell you real quick. I'm going to tell you the top 10 places to retire in the United States. Number 10, Dallas-Fort Worth. Number 9, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Number 8, Nashville, Tennessee. Number 7, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Number 6, Jacksonville, Florida. Number 5, Port St. Lucie, Florida. Number 4, Asheville, North Carolina. Number 3, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Number 2, Sarasota, Florida. Number 1, Fort Myers, Florida. I went to Fort Myers the last time I was in Florida. I went there to go see Edison's laboratory. Now this is old. Do they have a new one? Panama. Let's see here. These are retirement destinations. Panama, Malaysia, Portugal. Thank you. I knew Portugal would be on there. Mexico. I forgot about Mexico. Ireland. The cost of retirement in Ireland versus Arizona, concluding 30,000 a year is ample for, this is 4 years ago, for Ireland. Belize, heard that many times, and that's one that's kind of off the beaten track. And not one of the, oh, you got to be kidding me. Jono, if you're here, Concord, California, 30 miles east of San Francisco. What is this? What is this? What is this? What am I looking on the wrong? No, these are all United States places. Let me see something here. This is ridiculous. Ireland, Mexico, Ireland, Mexico, Belize, Concord, California, Grand Haven, Michigan, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Louisville, Kentucky. What? The 10 best places in the world to retire. That's what it says. I don't make it up. I bought a family-sized box of Frosted Flakes today. Going to eat the whole box by myself. Oh, you know, that sounds good. I haven't had any of those for a while. Most old people don't like leaving the U.S. because they still have the Cold War mentality. You don't think that's a bit of a generalization? Australia and New Zealand both are very expensive. Yes, especially Sydney. It's like New York. $30 a pack of cigarettes, Aussie dollars. What about Hudson in New York? No. Florida, tax-friendly, yes. That's where I hail from, Florida. Grand Rapids, expensive. Doesn't New Zealand have more sheep than humans? USA, what? I'm in Illinois. Anywhere else is better. Gonna buy a van and travel a bit before I become an expat. I call BS on Michigan and Pennsylvania. Michigan is a good retirement destination as far as cost of living goes. A lot of old people like it there. I'm sorry. When it comes to, they're talking about, this is 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago. When they're talking about the world's best retirement places, sorry, I don't see that. Concord, California is a shithole. Grand Haven is expensive. Doesn't Spain have typical Euro economic issues? Yes. I said most, not all. Yes, there's a broad generalization. Anywhere in California is a bad place to retire. Not tax-friendly and a nanny state. Yeah, I can't see living in California. I used to live there. I mean, that's where I came from when I moved to Thailand. I was living in Southern California. And thinking about it how it was then, and now that I look back, it was changing back then. 25 years ago, it had already started to change. Now I wouldn't want to live there for many reasons. But for them to put this list together, and it says on here the 10 best places in the world to retire. Do they have a comments section on this? Because I'd like to now this is 4 years ago. No comments. They don't let you comment on it. I mean, seriously, Santa Fe, New Mexico? Okay, it's nice there, I agree. Louisville, Kentucky, nice there, I agree. But is it a place where you really want to move and hang your hat if you're, say, European or American or Australian? I don't think so. Everything is going to shit. You know it when oil goes negative for the first time in history. Old people worth $3 million and up like the San Diego area. We're talking about, you have the whole world to choose from. I mean, I could tell you places. You got Panama, okay. I've heard Nicaragua. I've been to Nicaragua, and while I liked it, I don't know that I want to live there. But I'm going to cross off Concord. Ireland, yes. Mexico, yes. Portugal, yes. Malaysia, yes. I don't want to live in Malaysia. Panama, yes. I don't really want to live in Panama. I've been there also. I don't really want to live there, though. Belize, yes. Nicaragua, Thailand, Vietnam, even Indonesia. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 right there. Have not been to Costa Rica. Know some people that live there, and I grew up in Florida, so I know a little bit about it, but it's not the same. I guarantee the poll is looking at overall living there. Healthcare is a big issue. Have you ever been to Costa Rica? Can't comment on something? Get the center. You can comment on any site. I don't know what you're talking about, Victory Lap Life. Ecuador was cheap and people friendly. Yes, I know about Ecuador, and I was supposed to go there, and that never panned out apparently, and I don't think it will. But I know somebody there now. He put about $125,000 down and purchased a piece of land, and he's able to live there. He doesn't live there full time, but he built a house, very, very nice house. He lives right on the beach, so he's got it pretty good. But I got Panama, Malaysia, Portugal, Mexico, Ireland, Belize, Nicaragua, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia. And I'm wondering, let's see here. Spain, no. I wouldn't put any of these others. I wouldn't put New Zealand ahead just because of the cost, although, that might be a backup. Let's say 12. And Australia, no. But, Canada, some people want to live there. So there's 12 places right there for retirement. And I think those are a hell of a lot better than places that they're talking about just for expats. There's a difference. If I was an expat and I had I had an $8,000 a month, or let's just say $8,000. I had a pension that was $8,000 to $10,000 a month. I don't know that I'd be living in Thailand. I don't think I would be. So, anyway, I thought that was, it's a little different. It's interesting. And, whenever they come out, I kind of have to look at it because I want to see which way it's geared. I don't know that article was really slanted one way, but I would say yes, it is. If I was to venture a guess. Who has that type of pension these days? I'm talking about everything. Pension, money in the bank, uh, Social Security, whatever. Make some people have more than one pension. So interesting to think about that. Now, do we want to talk about China? Well, we're going to talk about it a little bit. I had seen this guy on the internet before. His name is Xu Xiaodong, and he apparently is a MMA guy in China, and he's called out all these Wing Chun and Tai Chi fighters or masters, whatever you want to call them. He's called them out and said, put your money where your mouth is, let's fight. And basically he's beat the piss out of all of them. So they're very angry with this guy and with what he's doing, and they're angry with his team and all these other kind of things. What do you think of the reports that Kim Jong-un braved in? Until I see that he's dead, it's just like information coming out of China. You can't believe a damn thing that they're saying. This guy, Zhu Jingdong, or whatever his name is. Now, I probably wouldn't say anything about it because, a lot of these guys, they're teachers, they're not fighters. It's like, you get some guy, he's 30 years old and he's strong and he can fight, and you throw some 60-year-old guy in with him. Usually, the 60-year-old's going to get his ass kicked. I mean, that's the way that it works. Greetings, Diego. Greetings. So, it doesn't really prove a whole lot, but what it does prove is one thing. Because after every one of the fights, they had interviews with both people. You could see them all over the internet. They had these interviews. And the loser, which was always the Tai Chi or Wing Chun guy, the losers would make excuses. And, well, here's the thing, okay? Beyond Trinity says, but isn't martial arts really about inner harmony and not really about self-defense? No, that's not correct. Yes, it is about inner harmony, but it is also about self-defense. And, you don't go around picking fights. And some of these Tai Chi guys and Wing Chun guys, they get pissed off because the MMA guy is going, listen, these guys can't fight. When it comes to practicality and usefulness, they can't fight. And so they get pissed off, and then they respond to his challenge or respond to his comment, and they want to challenge him. And then they always make excuses when they get the shit beat out of them. I saw one guy where he's talking about how, well, they were supposed to give us this food. They didn't give us food before us. And so, we were at a disadvantage and I had an injury and all. They're always coming up with these excuses. And you know what it did was it reminded me exactly of the way that the people of the CCP are. Anytime that they are confronted with the facts, they blame the other person. That's what they do. It's their MO. And if you look at every situation where the Chinese government or somebody who is a mainlander who is probably pro-Beijing, pro-CCP, if you look at how they deal with their situations, their fights, they're getting their ass kicked, and they deal with it, and they speak about it afterwards, you will see that there are similarities. Oh, no, this guy, we weren't sure of the rules, and they had a guy who's one-armed, and he's fighting this other guy who's a Wing Chun guy, and the guy knocked out. He basically beat his ass with one arm behind his back, didn't even kick him. And it reminded me, I went, This is what, this is what they do all the time. Well, the rules were that he wasn't supposed to do this and it. Listen, at the end of the day, you get into it, you know what's what. You know what's what going in. Now, granted, things happen sometimes. But if you watch these guys, you will see one after another, after another, after another, talk shit, comes in. There was one guy saying, I could beat Mike Tyson. I have a 3-punch combination. It's just like you see on Chinese, in the Chinese kung fu movies. The guy's like, I have a 3-punch combination. No one can stand up to it. So this guy was like, okay, I'm going to your gym. He goes to the gym. He says, you want to fight? Let's fight. So they get out there. Within 20 seconds, the guy was beating the piss out of the guy who supposedly can take Mike Tyson out. What happened to the three-punch combination? This is exactly how the CCP operates. German paper roasted China. Well, there's a lot. That's what I was going to get into. Is that there are a lot of places now that are extremely angry with the Chinese government. Well, not all Chinese are 105 pounds. But of course, everybody thinks that's irrelevant. Oh, but if you're a great fighter, you can fight. Yeah, okay, you can fight, but like if you're 105 pounds and you get in with somebody who's 275 pounds of solid muscle, it's going to be hard for you to take him. Now a guy who completely doesn't know how to fight, and you got a guy 105 and he's fighting somebody 160, yeah, okay, maybe he can take him out. Some Google searches say maybe Kim Jong-un had heart surgery. He doesn't have a heart. He doesn't need a heart to live. He's Kim Jong-un. Oh. Anyway, let's move on. I don't know, what are the numbers? Thailand had no deaths, and have had no deaths, I think, in 3 days now. Yet, Kim Jong-un does not defecate. So we have no poop talk about him. What I like to look at when it comes to the numbers is countries like Sweden, who really are not doing very much, to see how many people are infected and how many people are dying. Now they have 12,647 active cases, 521 are serious, 1,580 dead. So when it comes to percentages, that's not a whole lot, but out of the 10.23 million that are in the country, but who knows if it's just started there. And that's kind of what I'm worried about in Thailand and in the United States. Because people are chomping at the bit to open up. And I can see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can kind of see, hey, we might be getting close to opening up. At the end of the month, we might be opening up. Oh, but it's not going to be like it was before. And like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, when it does open up, I'm not going to be somebody running out there without a mask going, well, everything's going to be okay. I want to see. Call me a coward, but I don't know that many of these countries who are just deciding to open up have done what is necessary. In the United States, I think it's about pressure. It's about pressure and the balance between security and safety and health, the health concerns, and economic survival. That's what it is. And, when people in the United States start starving, or they have to go to food banks and wait in lines that are miles long, you can understand why there's a lot of protesters. They're getting worried. But it does illustrate something. It's definitely illustrated something to me. You need to have more food and you need to have more money. You need to have less, toys like jet skis and stuff. If you don't got the money, it's better to have the cash than have a jet ski. He defecates out of his mouth every day. Yes, he does. There's quite a few others that do that as well, leaders. But I want to know how they'll deal with public transportation that many use in the Boston metro area. Our transit system are always packed during rush hour commutes, just like here. If you don't get immune from having the virus, it's not getting better because there is a, what is this? It's not getting better before there is a vaccine. The financial cost is going to be huge. Yes, I agree. Who's to say that it's going to burn out? I don't know that it will. I think when you keep everybody inside, okay, yeah, well, it's not spreading. But then when you let them go back out, or people from elsewhere come in, that are asymptomatic, I don't know, The coronavirus has shown bioweapons can be just as bad as a nuke, which is scary. Imagine if this was transmissible Ebola. Yeah, I've said that. I've said that already. If this was Ebola, people would be totally freaking out. You think they're freaking out now? Totally freaking out. People need to buy all those imported shrimps, chick, and fish products from China. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you say so. Personally, I don't want to buy anything from China if I can help it, and that's part of the problem, is that it's very difficult to buy anything that hasn't in one form or another been manufactured or grown or whatever in China. We need to, like I said before, we need to get off the tit. We need to get off the tit. Simple as that. Now, some of the positives is that the Earth has gotten a break. It's gotten a big break from daily life, from pollution, from all the chemicals that go into the air and go into the environment, and that's obviously a good thing. But here in Thailand, I know with the accidents, the number of accidents have dropped dramatically. Thailand is not known as being a very safe place when it comes to traffic and accidents. But the other thing is that the crime rate supposedly has gone down. But if people start starving or not being able to feed their families, then the crime rate's going to go right back up. I thought today's stream was non-news. Does it say that anywhere? I'm trying to stay, on the fringes. The world must hold the CCP responsible for this disaster. The system needs a reboot. Definitely. There needs to be some accountability, some repercussions, and I think there will be. And I don't think that Trump is very happy with what's going on with China. He knows, listen, he's not stupid. He may come off as an idiot sometimes, but he's no dummy. He knows what's going on. He's not like, listen, you think he's friends with all these guys? Oh, yeah, I'm good friends with this guy. That's just a little lure. That's the lure to let their guard, so that they'll let their guard down. Oh, I've got him now. No, you don't have him. I guarantee you they don't have him. He knows what's up. He knows the Chinese are full of shit. And that's basically what it is. The Chinese are full of shit. Simple as that. Oh, I have to tell you, in case anybody doesn't know, let's see here. The USA was funding the bat research. Yeah, well, I don't know how that happens. Why are we giving them money for anything? I mean, really, it's so stupid. Oh, well, you know what we'll do? It's a long-term thing. We'll give them money, and then they'll be our friends, and, it's just ridiculous. Trump needs China to manufacture his Trump Hotel trinkets just like Ivanka's all Chinese-made clothing line. Well, again, we need to wean from the tit. We need to get off the tit. We need to stop relying on China. China. The lab had something to do with this her whole career since 2009. Listen, you know what? This is what I think. I think all you guys who are so convinced that it was this and it was that, it was this, it was that, I think you're guessing. That's all you're doing is you're guessing. You're just making assumptions. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, but you don't have the facts. You really don't know. And we don't know. And that's part of the problem. We don't know what's up. And again, uncertainty. We have no clue what really happened over there. For all we know, Joe Rogan could be right. There could be some animals that have that virus, whether it be bat or pangolins or whatever it might be, and some guy's selling them out the back door for $5 each because he needs some extra cash. And they take them over to the market. You don't know. So I'm very hesitant to... Now, I am going to say this. I don't believe it's coming from the United States because there's just too many signs pointing to it coming from Wuhan. Do I think it came from the lab? Yeah, I do. But do I think it was intentional? Probably not, but they are opportunists. And when they saw what the virus was doing, they took advantage of it. Well, apparently, Richard Branson has issued a statement saying he's not gonna be selling to them. So, NIH gave $3.7 million grant. Not sure if it's total grant or annual grant. Time to stop that grant right now. Stop writing the checks. Now, I will say this: Trudeau just gave like $900,000 or something like that to the Wuhan lab. He just gave some money out. Now, what the fuck are these people thinking of? I mean, I hate to get a little too excited about it, but why are they doing this? Or we'll keep China in our good graces? I don't think so. I was sick in March. Who knows? Probably already have the antibody for coming. I had him. That's too much information, dude. Seriously. I usually work in cruise industry, and at this point, I'm getting totally broke. Well, you're not the only one. I know nothing. I know nothing. I'm wondering, does anybody know how much the crime rate has dropped in New York and say Louisiana, Michigan? Hogan's Heroes. All right, let me see something here. Started streaming 83 minutes ago. 84 minutes ago. Cruise industries need to go away. My father used to have, he had a couple of boats many, many years ago, and it was expensive. I remember hearing him talk about that, and he tells me that now, how expensive it was. And I thought to myself, just in passing, wow, I wonder what it'd be like to have a nice boat where I could just live on it and hang out, and, I just want to anchor somewhere and chill. How possible is that? And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking to myself, it's too much of a pain in the ass. I wouldn't do that unless I absolutely had to. Crime's down significantly. In New York City. Okay. Good. Well, that's good. I do know they're letting out prisoners, and I know there was one guy that came out. They let him out, and the next day he killed somebody. You know, and this whole thing about human rights versus the law, and you know, I think it's Roman Abramovich. You think I don't remember that, huh? Come on. Back in the day, I used to be quite the sports. Or was that Danny Abramovich? What was it? Oh, he's the Russian billionaire. No, I'm talking about the football player. There used to be a. Let me see. Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I could have sworn there was a Danny Abramovich back in the day. Anyway, so the numbers are good in Thailand. And people are talking about opening up, and they do see it. Even for me, you know, when I was walking back to the Songtao with my bag of groceries, I got my mask on, and there's a lot of people they don't have masks on, and I'm thinking to myself, get away, stay away, leave me alone, don't come anywhere near me. If you come in my circle, I'm gonna get pissed. You know, I just wanted them to stay away from me. Because there's a lot of people out there just walking around, and you know, maybe there's nothing to worry about, maybe there's nothing to think about. But then again, if somebody was to pass it on to me and I come back here and give it to one of my kids or my wife, and one of us dies from it, then obviously that's not good. So how about you just wear the fucking mask? You know, and I see people in the United States and in Canada, all over the place, they don't care. They're not wearing masks. In mass, a lot of them, they're not wearing masks. And in Jacksonville, I saw this thing where they're opening up the beaches, which, okay, you open the beaches up, I understand. No more than 10 people together in any one group. Now, what the fuck good is that going to do? Seriously, what good is it going to do? Because, first of all, you get 10 people on the beach, and then they're sitting next to another 10 people. And believe me, they're not practicing social distancing. They're all walking around, passing up each. So it's just like it normally is. Except maybe Joe is not, you know, he sees some chick that is random. He might not be so apt to be right next to her. Although, with a guy and a girl, you never know. So I don't know how intelligent it is to do this at the moment. And you know, I just looked, and in the United States, yesterday, almost 2,000 people died. Okay? 2,000 people. $631 of them were from New York, 204 in Connecticut. You know, just a smattering of people. Michigan was 77. Pennsylvania 111. Massachusetts 103. New Jersey 175. Maryland 96. Georgia 94. So, you know, I'm not personally, I want, let everybody go out. Go ahead, open up. I'm not going to go out right away. I'm going to sit back and watch and see what happens. And then when I go out again, I'll wear the mask when I need to wear it. You know, if I'm walking on the street going for a walk and there's nobody around, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, then, you know, maybe I won't wear a mask. I don't know. New York is a dump, LOL. Why do you got to put LOL at the end of everything? New York, there are dump places. There are places in New York that are definitely could be considered a dump. But, you know, even the last time I went to New York, there were some fabulous places. You know, you don't like it, you don't like it. But calling it a dump, I mean, there are places in Bangkok that it's a dump. You know. Boston mayor was livid today at press conference. Yesterday's news had a teenage kid bragging how nice it was to be golfing since no one goes out there. Then he walked around Franklin Park. He noticed a bunch of kids playing soccer. He called Boston police to disperse the game. He may institute a fine so people don't comply with orders. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're supposed to be inside or you're supposed to wear a mask, then there has to be repercussions if you don't follow the law. And I understand it's a very tricky situation. You don't want to, you know, you're trying to help people. It's a medical thing. But some people are just flat out stupid. You know, they'll walk by you and cough. They don't have a mask. Oh, sorry. Sorry? What do you mean sorry? Sorry doesn't cut it, buddy. You know, this is not 2 months ago, 3 months ago, where everybody thought, okay, you know, don't have to wear a mask. The casino should be the last concern of yours. I mean, really. Casino is low on priority. Just like for most people, alcohol is a low priority. If it's that high of a priority with alcohol, when all this happens, you have a couple cases of beer, you know, in your garage or wherever, or in the refrigerator. I mean, you know, listen, I built up a little alcohol stash over the years. And I understand there are some beers I would like to have. I can't. And they're actually talking, well, today's the last day, isn't it? Oh, yesterday was the last day. However, they're extending it to the end of the month. At least that's what I believe. Let's see here. Let's see. I haven't really looked at the Thai news. I woke up late today. I didn't have much time to get things going, and then I had problems with the internet, which didn't help. Yeah, well, we're not allowed to talk about those kind of things in this chat. There's children watching, Holly. Coffee is a stimulant. If you're talking about coffee, that's all right. Let's see here. Supermarkets take on harvest fruit sales. Easing COVID curbs. Let's see. Let's see what that says here. And they mull easing COVID curbs. Emergency curfew likely to be extended. Now, what I'm really wondering about is, are they going to give a further 60 days extension for people who have visas or just no visa? Foreigners in Thailand, they're going to give them an extra month? Are they going to say, all right, everybody got to start going to immigration again on May 1st? Curious to know the answer to that, but I'm sure we'll know in the next few days. Let's see here. Ugh. The China bounce. Are Chinese packing their bags ready to come back to Thailand? You see, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to run right back out again, because I don't want to have to deal with them. You know, I mean, really. What are you going to do if you're out here in Thailand and, you know, a group of Chinese who are very clearly mainlanders are standing around with no mask on, and they're, you know, I wouldn't feel safe. Not yet. You know, maybe in a year or two. Let's see here. Let me read some of this. A strong positive message from the research is that 71% of Chinese consumers said they would visit Thailand. Well, this leads us. What are the preferred booking channels for Chinese travelers? Top 5: Ctrip, Fliggy, hotel websites, Booking.com, and WeChat. I mean, it's good for Thailand, but is it good for the people? I don't think so. I mean, I don't. Listen, I have nothing against Chinese people. I do have something against the CCP, the people who follow it, and people who knowingly or unknowingly come into the country from China and bring a disease that's going to further impact people's lives. I got something against that. Would you live in the Congo or just visit? I wouldn't live in the Congo, no. Not unless they paid me a shitload of money. Alcohol is a big essential, and critical liquor stores don't close. Functional alcoholics who buy their day's needs, what they need, will show up in an emergency room with withdrawal symptoms. I understand that, and that is a problem here. There's supposedly, depending on who you believe, 100,000 to several 100,000 alcoholics here who are having problems. Those with alcohol issues will be going to emergency room with alcohol poisoning should they stock up. Hospitals don't want to deal with either of those scenarios. I understand. This is why. This is why they do what they do. But yeah, I don't know what the answer is because I'm not an alcoholic. My wife's not an alcoholic. My kids aren't alcoholics. So why is it that if I want to have a beer, I can't have one? You know why? Because of all the people who will kill themselves or who will go crazy with the alcohol over the holidays, and then they may, it's like one bad apple. That's what it is. It's the whole one bad apple thing. I know those sites quite well. And, when I was in Hong Kong, I know several people with the Epoch News and NTD. Alcohol withdrawal is more dangerous than the Chinese flu. I drink a couple times a week. Maybe it's time to bring back the days of Ellis Island. All visitors must be detained for 14 days. Well, that's what they're talking about here. You want to come back into Thailand? It's two-week quarantine. I don't know how they're gonna finagle that because for somebody like Longhorns who comes here for months, or Soy Dog Cowboy who comes here for months, it's not that difficult because if they just have to stay at home, they can do that for 2 weeks. But it's 2 weeks that they can't be doing things that they would normally be doing. So, yeah, they also interviewed me. So, listen, that's wonderful, okay? But quite frankly, my mind is made up about the Chinese government and about Wuhan and about this virus, and I don't really give a shit what anybody says, because if you listen to the majority of people who really know far more than I do about China, all of them are in the Chinese government. Let me make that clear again. If you listen to the people who know it, then you know that really the CCP is flat out evil. They are evil. Anyway, I think, we're at about the end of our stream here. We can save the 90-day fiance talk for another day. And there's plenty to talk about, believe me. Some of these knuckleheads, chowderheads, uh, they're every bit as bad as some of the guys that I used to read their letters from, in the past. So, anyway, you wanted to what? Huh? The picture of you that started a stream with a stream looks like an obituary post. Okay, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Tell that to Jono. He took the picture. Good picture, but it looks like an obituary post. Thank you. I'll make sure to tell Jono. If he's not listening right now, I'll have a chat with him. I'm sure I'll talk to him shortly. But let me go on here because I got to get out of here. If you've yet to subscribe, please do so. Make sure to click on that bell to make sure you get notified of when I'll be streaming or when a video goes up. One of these days I'll get a couple of videos up. They'll probably all go up around the same time, but I got 3 or 4 of them I'm working on. Just got to get it done. Click like. Please click like. Remember to click like. Share this video. Leave a comment afterwards if you like. If you want to talk about something or you go back and you watch it, after the fact, because this stream remains up, then leave a comment. If you like what I'm doing and would like to support the channel, take a look in the description or head over to anamericaninbangkok.com/Scott. Get some merch. Get one of my books. What else? Yeah, there's plenty of stuff you can do. There's PayPal. There's Patreon. Thank you to the guy, what was the guy's name? Roman or... I'm blanking out now. Thank you to the guy the other day who joined Patreon. Appreciate that. Hey, where's Mr. Mitch at? I hope Mr. Mitch is doing all right. He's got some medical things going on, but I hope he's okay. Stay safe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you the next time, which I don't really know when that'll be. Might be Thursday, might be Friday, might be whenever, but I'll see you when I see you. Remember to buy products from your own country. Do a little research. Try to buy from your own country whenever possible. Buy American, buy British, buy whatever. But do not buy anything made in China if at all possible. Soy Dog Cowboy, I will talk to you soon. But yeah, if you so desire, you can, YouTube has the sponsorship. You can become a paid member of the YouTube. It's only like $4 a month. They have different levels. There's different levels, but you can become one of those. That's very helpful. Yeah, you got the Manscaped. You got the Manscaped products. You get 20% off. Use the Malin 20. There's all kinds of ways that you can help me out. No, don't buy from China. Don't even say that. Don't buy from China. Pay a little more. Get quality, because the Chinese products usually they fall apart and they're usually made like shit. So you get what you pay for. Don't buy Chinese. Amir, don't ever say that. Please. I don't want to hear that. That's not what I want to hear. Oh, one more thing before I go. There's an article here about Typhoid Mary. Now, if you don't know who Typhoid Mary is, guess what? There's the link right there. What you may not know is Typhoid Mary, her last name was Mallon. Mary Mallon. And she was Irish. Wow. She left in 1869. No, I haven't. Yeah, I should look in the Manscaped. Manscaped, uh, Manscaped's probably made in China. I don't know. Yeah, if you got something made in Thailand, get it from Thailand, as long as it's made in Thailand, not imported from China. I'm sure the Manscaped stuff, forget about Manscaped. I'm sure it's made in China. So, anyway, uh, until next time, that's all I got. And you know what? I'm on the phone. I got no exit music. I don't know why it doesn't work now on my computer, but it worked the other day. I did a test right afterwards and it worked fine. So until next time, that's all I got, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, ciao.